My tribe, I would like to say good morning to you all and a happy Friday. I hope you are starting your morning off greatly. And if you're listening to the podcast first thing in the morning, you're an awesome individual. Look at you investing in yourself. I'm proud of you, little bugger. And also, for those who are new to the podcast, I would like to say welcome to the Connect 0007 podcast, where human connection is everything. And I am your host, Thaddeus Sims, and this is the 28th episode of the podcast. And the title, as you've already read, but I'm going to tell it to you anyways, is Using Your Abilities to Connect with Others. Now, before I dive into this, I must share my little fun fact with you guys. I've been like waiting days to share this with you because I just got a real laugh out of this, but you'll see. So here's the fun fact. There have been studies that show that goats like us have accents. When I read that, I bust out laughing. And I was just like, I can't wait to share this because those who know me, when I say I love accents, but with humans, I would say, it's just cool. Like if I hear an England accent, I'll sometimes develop this England accent when talking to someone who has an England accent. It's weird. Oh, so it's cool. And then being the typical American, when you hear people who have cool accents, you're like, oh my gosh, just speak. Don't mind. Like, I just want to listen to you, right? Some of us. I can't speak for all of us, right? But I was just thinking, I'm just like, so let's just say I went to a farm or wherever goats are, and I hear them go, meh, or whatever they do, whatever sound. And it's just kind of like when you hear that first one, it's just like, oh, okay, without even going over there by wherever the stable, wherever the heck they are. It's like, oh, okay, I know that's old Betsy. You know what I mean? That's her. But then if I hear like a meh, I was like, oh, okay, that's old Buck. It was a little deeper. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know. I was playing these scenarios in my head. And I'm just like, if I go to a goat farm and I hear them making their noises in different accents, I am going to fall out because it's like now that I know, I'm going to hear it. I'm aware of it. And I want to hear old Buck and old Betsy, communicate in their whatever goat way. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I can hear it. I can hear it. Old Buck is from the South and old Betsy is from the West. I don't know. I'm going to take it there, guys. So you're probably judging me right now, but that's okay because I'm excited about this. And I know deep down inside, you're excited about this. And I know you're going to go to work and you're going to tell people that goats have accents and you're going to make the little meh sound. Gosh, it made me think of Amanda, the Amanda show, the meh. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going off the deep end. All right, let's get back to the podcast. So, all right, let's get into this. Using your abilities to connect with others. Now, I wanted to talk on this subject for a little bit, and I'm just kind of going to go deep here. This isn't really deep for a lot of people, but, for some of y'all, I haven't really went here too much, but we finna go here a little bit, give y'all something, y'all can take it and we're going to take it deep a little bit, so we're going to go a little deep today. So, using your abilities. Now, there's 3 things we're going to talk about in this. I'm going to break it up. So the first one is that you want to determine what your abilities are. And the reason why is that you'll know pretty much what you're working with. And also they give you clues to your life purpose. Now, what do I mean by abilities? Now, I'm sure you guys can kind of pick up that. You hear it. I always say my intuition. So one of my abilities is just my intuition. And another one or part of that is really just picking stuff up off of people. Now, there's a bunch of other abilities that I haven't really shared with people. I mean, not on a podcast, but I don't know. Not because I just don't do it, but it's because I just do it naturally. I don't think, hey, let me tell you about this, but here we are. I've discovered that the many other abilities that I have, they all tie into helping people. And that was, like I said, it was a clue to my life purpose because I was just really good at picking up stuff off of people. Even in my bad days, I just was able to do that. Information, I look at people in the eyes, I'll get information about them. Hell, sometimes people will talk and I'll just get other things that they're saying. Feeling people out, so empathy, just a good range of things, but they all related to helping people. And so what you'd want to do is determine what those abilities are. Now, I just kind of gave you just a few slight examples of mine. And, okay. All right, sorry, intuition kind of kicked in just again. So apparently I need to make this clear. Okay. So let me give you a clear example. Apparently I needed to work on that. Okay. Clear example would be with the feeling stuff off of people. I can immediately talk to a person, and though they may be smiling, and to the average person, they may be, oh my gosh, they are so bright. I will immediately pick up there's something that they're struggling with. And because I'm picking up on it, that must mean there's something I'm supposed to say to that individual. And this is something I had to learn over time. And so, I'll get to talk with that person. And, when we're alone and away from other people, it'll naturally just come up. And they'll say, hey, things are good, but, I don't know. People just have this thing. They'll just tell me things. And so as I listen, the minute I listen and they tell me whatever it is, my intuition will literally drop in my head. This is the solution. And so I would tell them, after they're finished and whatnot, I say, hey, this may sound weird. But what I'm getting is that maybe you should in XYZ, whatever that is. And they'll look at me like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. And when they give it a try, the next day or whenever they do it, they'll let me know, hey, I did this and this helped out a lot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, that was all my intuition. I just listened. But, I appreciate you. Thank you. And amongst other things is... Okay, another one would be, let's just say some of you may have this or whatever. But when I was super young and I didn't understand it, I would look at I would look at people in their eyes. And when I did that, just at the time I didn't understand it, but a bunch of things about them would come in my head. Fears, if they're happy, whatever it was. And I had a hard time looking at adults or people because I'm like, I didn't want to get that information. But later I learned, okay, hey, I'm getting this for a reason. And I had to understand it and utilize it, to help people. Now, in the past, in my bad days, I used that to destroy people. A lot of people, y'all know by now, like I said, I had a dark past. I used that to destroy people. So, my friends could attest to this. I was pretty harsh. So the minute you piss me off, oh yeah. Oh, you have this fear? Oh, this is how you really feel about your parents? You don't feel loved? Oh yeah, we finna bring this out. And I would destroy you, but that's not nice. That I didn't use that in the nice way, but now I use it for good. But getting back to my point is you need to determine what your abilities are, and what they are. I don't have to drag it out of you. Some of you guys are really good with what I can do, pick up on people. Some of you guys are really good at numbers. Some of you guys will get random symbols or random feelings in your head, and you do whatever. You may draw them or do whatever, and they may promote some type of feeling out of you and feeling out of other people. So what I mean by that, now I have some friends, random symbols will come to them and they'll draw it out and they'll say, hey, this is what I get from it. But before I tell you what I get, what do you get? And I've had these cool experiences where I'll see whatever symbol they get and it'll just, I don't know, it'll be like a bunch of information or ideas or whatever it is will pop into my head. It's like one of those experiences when you go and you see a art, some type of art, it makes you feel something and you get something amazing from it. And that is what I'll get from some of my friends when they draw like these interesting symbols, or they'll put interesting colors in some whatever way. And I'll just somehow just get some information, I'll get inspired. And it's like weird, but it's like, hey, they have a gift for that. Another example would be some of my friends. They are very good at using their words in good and a bad way. And it's very funny. There's one friend in particular, she's listening to this podcast. She's most likely going to probably punch me when she sees me, but it's okay. I love you. I always tell her that when she gets angry, she puts words together that I have never heard any individual say. And it is bad, but I've confessed to her. I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I love it when you get pissed off. I love it when someone pisses you off, because I can witness it. I know I'm about to witness, like, just what is the word I say? I know I'm about to witness, like, I don't know. It's weird. I always say when you put these words together, it's like godly. I'm about to witness godly forms of expression through words. And she just looks at me like I'm stupid. But I'm like, you don't understand. When you snap at people, I've never in my life thought to put those words together. I can't go and say what those words are because I don't have the gift that she has. But boy, oh boy, when I tell you, I don't care who you are, you're going to get a kick out of it. I get multiple kicks. God dang it. Like, I be stomping. It's ridiculous. But anyways, yes. So I'm not going to go too much on that. I'm kind of done with that. Just determine what your abilities are. You already know what they are. And again, they give you clues to your life purpose. Just like with the friends that I gave you some examples of. I do the podcast. I connect with people. That's what the whole podcast is about. Sharing my gift. Part of the purpose here for me. Another friend, he's good at symbols and things like that. He draws that. He shares that. It helps with people. She is really good with her words. I'm pretty sure. And she's also just very creative. So that's a gift right there in itself. And I'm sure she's discovering her purpose and whatnot with it. Or she probably already knows. She's just intuitive like that. Now, the second part, moving to part 2, is you want to work on using them to connect with others. Now, I've said it a little bit, but I struggled with this because I didn't know what it really was and I didn't understand it. And because I didn't understand it, it was a bit fearful for me. You know, like they say, you fear what you don't understand. And that actually took years to really get through it until my adult years, really. Because I just, you just have these abilities and sometimes you just really don't understand it or know what to do. And then I think the biggest thing is that I didn't know how to share this with people without coming off as, crazy or, oh my gosh, he worshiped the devil or some stupid stuff like that. So, at the time, that's when I cared about people, like what they thought. And when you have that, for me, it kind of, I don't know, I struggle with it, but I'm glad I did go through those struggles because it created this, I guess, strength to, let it out and pursue it and things like that. And some of you, your struggle may not be that, but your struggle may be really just trying to figure out how to even connect it with people. Some of you guys may be really good with certain art, but you're like, I don't know how to help people with this. But once you determine what your abilities are, then you can think of ways to do this. And if you still struggle with that part, just of how to utilize it, by all means, just shoot me a message and say, hey, I have this ability, but I don't know how to connect it with people. I'm really good at solutions, I guess, too. So that I don't know if that's a gift in itself, but some people will tell me stuff and certain solutions will just, I don't know, be drawn out of my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, do this. But, yeah. So work on using them to connect with others. And another thing I've discovered with this is that, and that just may help you a lot, it helped me, is that your abilities aren't for you. They're for others, and you want to help them. Like, a lot of us have these gifts and abilities, and we think it's for us, but in reality, it's for other people. And if you really think about it, a lot of people have, a lot of people may have a gift with music and art, singing, creating beats and whatnot. Now, they make a lot of money off of them. People who, get big or whatever, they make a lot of money off of them. But if you really look at all of the people that they affect with their music, beats and whatnot, how they make them feel, I'm pretty sure you guys have multiple examples of that. When you hear certain people say, man, because I listened to this person, it saved my life. I've heard that a good amount of times from really close friends. They say, man, hey, this helped me with this struggle. And yes, that person created it, but it's for the people, and the people can relate and feel things. I know guys don't attack me because I'm not that huge into music, but I know a lot of like friends who are fans of J. Cole. I know Kid Cudi, Beyonce, a lot of people out there, and some people, Janae Aiko, for me. And when you hear their music and stuff like that, it makes you feel certain things, And then let's going outside of that. There are just people who, they just are really good with just children or people, and we really appreciate them. And that gift that they have, again, it's not for them, but it's for the people that they're helping. Those people get inspired, or they feel a certain way, and they gravitate towards them, and those people are known for being able to, influence them in a positive way. And influence goes, a big way. So again, your abilities aren't for you. They are for others, so help them. And then just really the last thing is be bold and confident in your abilities. Now, before I go into this, I'm feeling my intuition telling me to do something, and I'm just like, okay, what do you want me to do now? Okay, so my intuition is basically saying go back to the struggle part. So I guess some people may be struggling with this, or may have a struggle with using that to connect with others. Okay, community. Okay, thank you. Intuition is telling me, all right, so some people may have the hard time of communicating their gift to people. So apparently I'm supposed to tap into and go into detail more with that and help people. So communicating your gift to other people. Now, I would say once you determine what it is, and you understand that, you want to use it to help other people, depending on what your gift is, you can communicate your gift by just doing it. And what I mean is, I'm going to stick with the ones that I mostly hear. You may just feel stuff off of people. And you may say, hey, I feel like this from you. And when you just naturally just say it, I feel like if you just say it as it is, but in a way that people will understand you, like, don't just say, hey, my empathic abilities are communicating to me via waves around us that you are. No, don't be weird. Just be like, hey, I feel like what I'm getting from you, simple, what I'm getting from you, I feel this, and just say it. You'll find out whatever it is, you'll just do it. The friends with the drawing their symbol and stuff like that, they may just draw it, and they may say, hey, I did this, and this is what I got from it. When you look at this, what do you get? So simply just doing your gift, whatever it is, naturally, that's your way of communicating. And people will come to you and maybe ask you questions, or you can just share it to them, whatever it is. Now, some of you may have some really out there abilities with things, and those are my favorite. So I would recommend, I want to say, I can't really give too many examples on that because I can't really say any. I'm trying to say, do I know anybody that has a really out there Ability with stuff. Gosh, who has a really out there ability with things? I'm sorry, guys. Usually I'd be ready for y'all with some examples, but I'm really trying to think of someone I know that has a really out there, like, okay, their gift is really out there. Gosh, I can't think of nobody at the moment. I mean, there's one person that comes to mind, but, I don't think you, what was it again? Well, okay. Okay. We'll work with me here, guys. There's someone I know. He has an ability where he can really, it's like with his mind, he can really, I guess, like evolve his mind. Oh gosh. Okay, so there we go. Never mind. Someone who has a really out. Okay, it hit me hard just now. Okay, there is someone I know who. Okay, I can't say no names, but the boy can pick up stuff off people's subconscious, and to this day, I'm not lying to you guys. I keep it authentic. I would not lie to you guys. And if I didn't know this to be true, I would not put this on my podcast. But there is someone I know. He has a very out there bit. And let me say this, the boy is not, the boy doesn't do anything weird. Well, he is weird, but he doesn't do anything weird or, something out there. Let me just say that. Like, when I say out there, the boy doesn't, go out into the woods every, full moon and whatever. You get what I mean. But he talks to you. It takes some, like, if you don't understand him off the bat, you're not going to be able to communicate with him. But the boy can read your subconscious and get information about your subconscious to the point where if you're talking to him and you're like, hey, how's it going? The boy might be mad at you because your subconscious is saying something completely different. And I have witnessed this. And me and him would have these little ability battles because he would do some stuff to me. And I'm like, okay, no, we ain't having that. I'd read him, whatever. This is my immature days. And the boy would just pick up stuff. Now, he did it on me. And I was just kind of like, okay, no, like I felt violated. Like, no one does this to me. But anyways, he has an out there ability. I don't know if he's worked on that with people, but I would say talking with him, he would just get a bunch of information. And if he learned, I think he may have at this point, he may have learned how to use that in his favor with people. And I would say some examples that he's done is he's very blunt and very authentic. Like I said, a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to work with him, but he would tell me, hey, you suck at this. So I got this book and I thought of you, and it'll definitely help you with these thoughts that you have, because subconsciously you do this, but you may not know this. So yeah, here's this book for you. Now, off the bat, if you don't know him, you would be very pissed off. You would be emotional. And at the time I could have been, but I'm like, okay, he's not talking to me. He's picking up something off of my subconscious, and he's recommending something to help me in that field. And again, the subconscious is like a whole different aspect. I know some of you guys are like, whoa, where are you going with this? But this is weird. But anyways, the boy would recommend whatever book, and I would look into the book and I'm like, okay. And I'll read into it, and slowly but surely I will see what he's talking about. And I'm like, oh, I never knew this about myself. And it helped. And he'll help me here and there with these different tools and things like that. So for some of you guys who have very out there abilities, there is hope. And you may need to work on your communication skills with that. and you can do that. But again, like I said, if you have these out there abilities and you're not sure how to communicate with people, please shoot me a message. I'm sure a solution may pop into mind, and I'll respond back to you at my earliest convenience. And I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why I went there. My intuition was saying, I guess whoever's listening to this podcast, I guess I'm picking up on y'all guys. Y'all might be having some out there stuff. Y'all might be struggling with it. So I guess I got the okay to go to the last thing is number 3, be bold and confident in your abilities. Why? It's a part of you. Use them. Again, I struggle with that. But when you understand that when you use all parts of yourself, you start to feel really good. And I say this because a lot of us, we go to work, we go do family stuff, but we're only, some of us, hell, we're 30% of who we really are. Some of us 50, hell. And if you're lucky enough, you might be a good 80% of who you are. And some of you may say, oh, no, I'm always 100% who I am. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm very authentic, but I'm not 100% myself all of the time. Because some of the time it's like, it's not needed. I don't really need to put my all over here. I just need to be a good 30% and it's excellent. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do that, but I'm just being real with you guys. But it's a part of you. So when you utilize those parts of yourself that's in there, you start to feel like you feel that growth. You start to feel really good. It's really just like, just really being yourself wherever you can. Now, I know that may sound contradicting to what I'm saying. Like you just said that you're 30% here, but you telling us to be 100%. Yes, I am. But obviously, you could use your judgment to know, okay, you don't need to be 100% over here when you're talking to Sally because Sally ain't over there. Sally ain't on that. So you just know if you keep it a good 10% for these 2 minutes, you good. You keep everything copacetic and you keep it moving, but you just know, okay, I don't really, you're aware, okay, I don't need to really do that. Now, if your abilities come into play, which you may need to help Sally over here, by all means, go ahead and do it. It's a part of you. So all I'm saying is your abilities are a part of you, part of almost like your personality and mindset and things like that. Use it. And when you do, you will start to feel better. You will start to flow better. There will be that light inside of you that will grow better. Your energy will be more potent. I'm telling you, my people. Now, I'm just saying, someone who does it, by all means, do it. And also, people will thank you and you'll create a domino effect for others to do the same with theirs. I say that all the time with the domino effects is when you're authentic and you're being who you are, you give people the permission to do the same. Your energy has that effect on people. Your whatever that you do, it has that effect on people. So when you are using your abilities to connect with people, you will be very surprised that some of your friends may come to the side and tell you, hey, I noticed that you do this and this may be weird, but I always somehow just pick up stuff off of people and it just comes into play. Now, oh, wow, that is the out there ability. Okay. So it gives people, I'm gonna explain that. It gives people basically permission to do that. Now, I said to myself just now, like, oh wow, that's an out there ability. Is that one of the things like with me is that I have what's called synesthesia or synesthesia, if I'm saying it right. I think I'm saying it right. I always kind of say it weird, but synesthesia. You can actually look that up. And one of the things is that my senses will start to blend together. It just happens. I can use it, turn it off, whatever, but it'll come into play for whatever information that I need to get. So I'm really good at picking up information, but sometimes, the regular way doesn't work. So what I mean by synesthesia with the senses blending together is like being able to see sound. A lot of people are like, okay, Thad, you've been smoking. I don't. Thad, you've been on some of that the herbs. I don't, but I am very open to some ayahuasca. A lot of people maybe say, okay, you've been drinking. I don't do that either. So natural high, guys, I guess. But anyways, people can see sound. That's the thing. Another thing is that you can feel smells. So I'm just trying to give you an example of some synesthesia here. Literally, you can Google this, but you can feel smells. And I already said we finna go deep here, so I'm finna weird half of y'all out. It's okay. Welcome to the podcast. This is part of it. I'm weird, so the podcast is gonna be weird. But you can, I could feel certain sounds. Like I love coconut, right? I love coconut stuff. But coconut has this silky, smoky feeling to it. And you're probably like, okay, that has really been taking something. But I promise you, that is how it is. And I have to, for myself, when I'm communicating with people and describing certain things, I have to really be aware of how I'm communicating to people so they understand what I mean. So I can't just say, oh, that coconut has a cool, the smell of it feels cool, and then be like, what? So I may have to say, oh, I really enjoy that smell. But my friends will know, like, okay, that smell made you feel a certain, so it'd be weird. Or, certain things with seeing like sounds and stuff like that. I know some friends who could do that too, but like certain sounds, they'll just have these colors to them. I'm trying to think of one, like certain beats, it looks like almost like drop, like when you see water drop or waves, it's almost like waves, but these waves have colors. So it's just like, oh, wow, that sound has an interesting color to it. And I'm like, oh, wait, okay, can't say that. That is a cool sound, So some of you may have these interesting abilities, but when you utilize them, it helps you out. Now, some of you may not understand what the heck, like why the heck you have these things, but this is part of you. It's weird. Accept your weirdness. A lot of people are trying to be normal. That is unattractive. Don't do that. And really, what is normal? So be weird. Utilize your abilities and be yourself. Ultimately, it's good you're helping people, but ultimately you're liberating yourself. You're tapping into parts of yourself. You're tapping into who you are, and these things give you life. Now, I don't know about some of you guys, but some days, well, not no more, but in the past, I didn't feel like I had a lot of life flowing through me. But when you start to utilize all these good things about yourself and what you are capable of, you will stand out, which is good. Some of you guys may say, I don't want to stand out, but I'm telling you, you do. When it comes to your life purpose and things like that, you'll get cool opportunities. People will just start coming to you and talking to you. Again, you just have this vibe and stuff like that. I know a lot of people would tell me, hey, you have a good vibe and stuff like that, but people don't know there were investments to get to this vibe. You probably may have never heard me say it like that, but there were investments to get here. There was some personal growth, some personal development. There were some fears I had to get through, just like all of y'all. I'm no different than y'all. There's some things that whatever it is, your purpose is, you're going to have to get through. And once you do and you utilize it, things are amazing. And it just goes back to your abilities. You will see those weird things you probably don't talk about, or those weird things you're probably afraid of that you do. Once you start utilizing them, your life will start to get better. It'll start to get magical. Things will start to change in good ways. You'll start shaking some stuff. I know a lot of people say, man, I need to change some things in my life. And hell, that may be one of the things you can start utilizing. You don't have to go move to the other side of the country. Well, maybe if your purpose is calling for that, but that's something you can start doing. So wrapping it up is using your abilities to connect with other people. Determine what they are, and you'll know why. Like, it's important. You'll know. You got to know what you're working with. Number 2, work on using them to connect with others. You're going to go through some struggles, maybe not, but once you get through it, things will become clearer to you in ways that you will understand, because I know half of y'all thinking I may be crazy right now, but once you start utilizing it, you're like, oh, well, maybe he wasn't that crazy. You still crazy, but you wasn't that crazy like I thought you was when I listened to this podcast, that one episode. I'm telling you, once you get over to this side of the fence, guys, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I see what he means now. You got to experience it. I can only tell you these things, but you have to do the work to experience them. And once you experience them, you have your own experience You have your own experience. And you can say to other people what it's like. And then this lastly, be bold and confident in your abilities. It's a part of you. Use them. Be bold about it. Be confident in what you can do. That may take some time for you. I will say with that confidence comes with practice and things that you constantly do in the regular. And after a while, it just becomes normal. You feel confident. To this day, I have some friends who will hit me up and say, how are you confident, or how are you able to just randomly be on Facebook and say you connect with your ancestors, or your ancestors told you this? I'm like, because that's who I am. My ancestors speak to me, god dang it. And to most people, that may sound weird. To most people, they're going to think some other stuff, but it is not my responsibility to worry or control or to ask what other people think about that. That is between them, their mind, and whoever their source of power is. That, bless them, god dang it. But that don't do nothing for me, you know? So that's like, that's who I am. Do it. And that's what I mean by that confidence, guys. It's who you are. And if you have it, do it. Don't care what people say. You're going to probably go through that. That struggle is going to be hard in the beginning, but do it. And I'm telling you, it's very liberating. It's very freeing. And you will see you have this light that people are just like attracted to. So that's why I say be bold and confident and own your stuff, own those abilities. And like I said, people are going to thank you guys, and you're going to create an awesome domino effect for others to do the same with theirs. And I know a lot of people think, changing the world has to be this huge thing, but you've heard it often, if you want to change the world, start with yourself. And once you start with yourself, you'll start noticing that those people around you, those close friends, they'll start feeling that change and they'll start changing. And then boom, the people they connect with, they'll start changing. So you get the point. So with that being said, I am so happy that I weirded half of you guys out with this podcast, and I expect to weird you guys out even more in the future. And happy Friday. And remember, goats have accents. So if you hear old Betty out there, you can tell she's from the West. And if you hear old Buck out there, he's probably from the North or the South. So that being said, I forgot. That being said, all things that you guys are working on, I pray that you get it. I pray that your success comes to you. All the things that you have been asking for, all the things that you're working on, I pray that you get it. If there's some loved ones that you have that may be going through some things, I pray that they get through it. Heck, I pray that you get through whatever it is that you may be going through behind the scenes with things. And lastly, what I'm just feeling to just say to you guys is, whatever it is that you are, going through today or probably have been struggling with, just know that you are going to get through it, and you will find that it has helped you out. It will help you out in a grand scheme of things. And it may be hard now, but once you get through it and once you face it and see whatever it is and what you're learning from it, your life will start changing for sure. And you have the control of your life. Just know that. And once you make those choices on it, you'll see that things will change. So that's what I just randomly felt to say to you guys. And with that, I will see you all on Tuesday or in social media. All right. So that being said, I will talk to you later, guys. I is out.